Here I am back again, drawing and whatnot. This time I decided to draw using three randomly generated images. There's a website that I just went to, and you can click on the amount of images you want generated if it's all right to have duplicates. Sometimes I have trouble being creative or I have an art block, so sometimes using random images and trying to come up with something really helps. I was using some of the tires from the construction site, the figure sitting, the glasses from the guy at the top. Once again, my sketch and my little recording from Procreate aren't aligned, but I think it still looks okay. I feel like I don't draw full forms as much as I should, but I really liked where this head sketch was going. There was like a climbing rail in the construction site picture that I liked using for his head. So he looks a bit like, like an alien. And putting the wheel around his neck sort of made him look like a clown. And so I didn't really stick with that idea. I'll probably be using more picture prompts in the future because sometimes it's just really hard just coming up with something out of your head. Or like you want to draw something from your head, but you just don't have any visual representation or idea of what you want it to look like. So sometimes just random images or randomly sketching will help pull it together. I kind of wish I would have drawn the full form that I sketched out here, but I ended up going with just the head and torso. I didn't really use the artist glove much first. I got it as a Christmas present like a year ago, I think. And but I'm using it because I had a smaller iPad, so it didn't really make much of a difference. But now that I have this larger one, it really helps, especially with this textured matte surface. It feels a lot better to not have my hand dragging back and forth over it. Usually when I'm sketching with the pencil, I use a chalk eraser. The pencil ones I feel just aren't big enough, and the chalk ones, I like how they leave the sort of pencil looking texture behind when you erase so the edges don't look too clean. I didn't really have any plans for his hands when I started sketching it out, but I didn't want to think about it too much, so I just drew on some fingers and hoped for the best. I think it ended up looking okay. Once again, using my textured brush to do the outline. It's one of the ink sets. I don't really like too smooth edges. I don't know why my pencil keeps jittering like that, where it like just makes that big long line or jagged lines across the screen. try resetting my iPad and it doesn't help. I don't know. I tried to Google. And that didn't really give me any insight on what might be the issue. It happens with both of my iPads. I really don't know what it is. I tried it without the screen protector, with the screen protector. I tried replacing the nib. I tried using it with like a nib cover, and I don't know, it just happens every once in a while. Does anybody else have that issue with their iPads? Probably. He felt a little too plain, so I added some texture to him with these rings. I was thinking about giving him the exact same type of glasses that the guy in the reference photo had, where they have like they're just like the slit glasses, you know what I mean? But I preferred these goggles, make him look a little more space agey. I was gonna make him all green, but I gave him a yellow arm because everything was just looking a little too green. I want to just add in some more colors. Make it a little more electric. I could have done the reference layer thing and just dragged and dropped the colors, but sometimes you just feel like coloring by hand, you know? But I just did all of these coloring on a separate layer just in case I wanted to change the color of it, but I was satisfied with the green like once I was done with it. So like I was thinking about making him purple, but I like the feeling that the green has. I was gonna go back and erase some of the little extra lines that you can see in the image, but sometimes fiddling around with a picture too much makes me tired of it. I finished this like the next day, like this part with the cat, like this is the next day, just because I'm usually doing these drawings at like 1 or 2 a.m. So I have to get some sleep, take a break, then get back to it. But my phone ended up overheating, so it didn't get the full recording of me drawing it. It just gave up on me, and when I checked my recording later, I realized I didn't have the end piece when I added in the background for him. So I just clipped on the bit from Procreate at the end here. I wonder if I should have thought out the highlights and shadows a bit more, but I'm just doing these to practice, so I don't want to like fiddle with them too much and make myself tired and end up not wanting to even draw, you know? Sometimes you just got to realize the amount of work that you want to put in. Like, do you want to have the practice in, or do you want to have a piece that you fiddled with and frustrated you and made you want to give up? And I just wanted to get the practice in, so I did that. And like, you learn something from every piece. It doesn't have to be perfect at the end for you to have learned something from it. Like whether it was the way you wanted to work with colors or the brushes that you wanted to use or anything like that. Like, you'll get that even if you don't have a perfectly proportioned, perfectly lined, perfectly colored piece. But yeah, I hope to do these more often. And there he is, my little alien guy.